Okay, hey, so I was on earlier, but I got a phone call, so I got off. I'm just looking for my phone stand now, and we'll try this again. Okay, so I've got it, and good morning to you. It's Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, 8:50 a.m., and I remember that yesterday I said that I was going to try something in a different way. And I even looked back at yesterday's video, but I couldn't find what it was I was going to do. So I think it might have been that whatever amount of coffee I was going to have, I would put less milk in it. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I've got some 2% reduced fat milk, and I am going to, okay, I've only put in maybe a third of the way up to the bottom line on the milk frother. I just keep looking to make sure that it's not popping out that ground fault circuit interrupter button. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and froth it up. Of course, I haven't frothed the 2% milk yet, but you know what? Here is the only difference between 2% milk and whole milk. Okay, whole milk has 8 grams of fat and 12 grams of carbohydrates and 8 grams of protein. This has 5 grams of fat, okay? It's just lower fat, okay? So, oh, I think I told you right about whole milk. Wait, let me go look at the thingy here. Yep, 8. All right. So the only difference is how much fat it has. Now, I've got the Inspirazione Venezia. My last capsule. This is really good stuff. Oh, okay. The milk's already frothed. So it's made a nice amount of froth there. It's just lovely looking froth. And I'm going to go ahead and this is an espresso. Yes. So the espresso. Oh. All right. Wait. The button popped out. Hang on here. There we go. All right. Now things are working. Okay. So as soon as this heats up, I'm going to run it as an espresso, okay? Now remember, an espresso is 1.35 ounces. That's a very little bit. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna change boats in midstream here. I'm not going to, yeah, I ought to just do this in this thing. Do they hold the same amount? I don't know. Just so we can see. All right, I'm gonna do it in this glass measuring cup. It's the smallest glass cup that I have. All right, I'm gonna, oh, look at that, it fits right under. Espresso button, okay. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. And if you have a milk frother, of course you can do this too. Okay. So here's my espresso, all right? And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take the phone and put it on top. I don't know why, you know, I think the reason I haven't thought about this before is because when you use plant milk, many times it does not froth up like this. And, you know, you can see that it's making all sorts of peaks and mounds and stuff. Oh, it's just lovely. And then, you know, I think I like the 2% taste even better than the whole milk. Okay, now I'm going to pour in the milk. Alrighty. Oh, turn the machine off. Okay, so here is my lovely, it's almost like a little cappuccino, okay, with the milk and the froth. Okay, does it need sweetener? I don't know, but I know today, if I use sweetener, probably going to use the powdered stuff instead of the syrup. Although I did get out this giant salted caramel skinny syrup that I have. But you know, yesterday how I was talking about that whole tipping point thing, how when you get it here, it overbalances and it's so easy to pour too much in. It's even worse with this because there's so much volume back here. And as you're tipping, if you tip a little bit too much, a whole bunch can come out. Okay, here we go. That is tasty. But I just feel like it needs a little sweetener. Do you know, I'm thinking that part of it is when I use the oat milk, it adds its own flavor to the coffee and almost adds a little sweetness to it. And the same with the almond milk, but the cow's milk doesn't do that. So, okay, I've got my sweeteners here. So, you know what I'll do? I'll use a little Splenda because that is a very common sweetener that most people have available to them. Okay, all right, now here, okay, that's just, you know, not a whole lot. I mean, I can't, it's like probably less than an eighth of a package. I can taste the sweetness though. This is very good. It's just, I don't know. It's just perfect. You know, I remember, I think I've told this story before, but who knows? I've been doing this for, what, 5 or 6 years, so it may be that some of you that are watching, here, it may be that some of you that are watching have never heard it, but interestingly, my daughter here in Warner Robins is in Robins Leads, which is an adult leadership program. And when she was in 11th grade, she was chosen to be in the Coleman County Youth Leadership Program when we were living over in Alabama. And they picked like 2 kids from each school. So she was one of them from her school. And she had, well, was it that or was it when she went to the Lott Institute? Oh, well, okay, I don't remember, but she had this one little seminar where they talked to the kids about, if you're in a business meeting, the proper conduct. And the only thing I remember that she shared, here, I'll stand up straight. This is one of those silicone lids you put on something to go in the microwave so you don't have to keep using, you know, wax paper or use plastic or something because you can just wash it off afterwards. Anyhow, so they said, you know, if you get coffee, just don't use more than half of your packet of sweetener because it's one of these unspoken things that just shows that you have self-control. I'm probably not wording this properly, but I thought, whoa, that is so weird. I mean, at the time, I used 2 or 3 packets of sweetener in my coffee, but I always thought, how could you enjoy your coffee? But, you know, it's, first of all, with coffee, it's a matter of having a good coffee, all right? And second of all, it's a matter of what you get used to. You know, when I realized when I first started drinking Nespresso that if I put sweetener in, it would dull down the flavor a lot, I started putting less and less and less. And now I can just put in a few sprinkles and I can detect that sweetness. I no longer need 3 packets of artificial sweeteners. And did I use like 3 packets of the same kind? No, it had to be a Splenda, an Equal, and a Sweet and Low. Because that made it really sweet to my taste buds. Interestingly, I don't care for actual sugar in my coffee. I'm just not used to it anymore. Although when I was a lot younger, I would put multiple spoons of sugar in my coffee. Anyhow, so yeah, now, which artificial sweetener do you prefer, if any? And please, if you have this rant about not using artificial sweeteners for, health reasons or whatever, this is not the place for it, okay? I'm interested in what you like, not what you don't like about using an artificial sweetener, okay? I like to keep my posts on Facebook positive and humorous if possible, entertaining, and not be a place that spurs controversy. And Leslie, I see you're joining us this morning. Thank you. And somebody else is too, at least one other person, but it's only showing Leslie's name. Well, good morning to everyone who's watching. This is yummy. So, okay, this was Inspirazione Venezia, which has toasted cereal notes, if it makes a difference to you, and some 2% reduced fat milk that I frothed up, and then I spooned the froth in and then poured the liquid milk in at the bottom of the froth, and then I sprinkled in a little bit of Splenda, and it is fine and dandy. Well, I'm going to the pool today. It's supposed to get up to 98 degrees. I'm going this morning, though, while hopefully it'll still be in the 80s. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.